Hello, everybody. How are you today? I hope that this video finds you in good health and a pleasant spirit. And I just want to start by saying Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in to me today. And I would like to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Incidentally, I've come up with a name for my little YouTube show now, which I'll be presenting here, from time to time. And the title of it is TJ's Topics. And of course, I am TJ. And I'm so glad to be with you today on this first day of 2023. Of course, some of you may view this video at a different day. So it may not be January the 1st when you see it. It could be July 26th. It might be September the 4th, or it might be August 23rd, or whenever you watch it. That's fine with me. I'm just grateful for the fact that you have decided to tune in to me. And please know that your support is very much appreciated. I am going to be brief on today. I just want to say something about the year 2023 and the fact that this is poised to be a very special year for each of us. Not just for us as individuals, but for the entire world collectively. Because I think most of you have been paying attention to other YouTubers and other influencers on social media as they have been discussing the outcome of the year 2023 and the fact that when you add up the numbers in this year, they total 7. And for those of you out there who are students of numerology, especially as it relates to matters pertaining to spirituality, and some of you may even be students of astrology and what have you, physics, science, and all that. And you know how important numbers are in all of those fields. Well, when it comes to this, I can tell you that these numbers, numbers don't lie. And if you got all the numbers together and you watch how things play out, it can open your eyes to some things. Well, I have been a student of numerology for nearly 25 years. And I tell you, things don't surprise me when it comes to how numbers play out. Because I've seen a lot of things happen over the years, and things that have happened in my life in particular. And it seems as if when I went back and analyzed the situation, whatever it was, somehow that number 7 came to the forefront. And such is the case for this year that we find ourselves in, 2023, the year of 7. And that's what I want to talk about for a few minutes. Because, when you add up the numbers in 2023, they total 7. Now get this, there have been other years in this century that added up to 7 as well. And there are years that are coming up which will add up to year 7. And I tell you, I am just amazed at all of it myself because, like I said, I've had plenty of experiences in my life where somehow the number 7 was involved, And for the sake of time, I'm not going to try to, go into every little detail that has happened to me personally. But let me tell you that when I got through, when I took the time to sit down and analyze whatever the situations were that took place and how it all played out, I'm telling you, I was floored. You hear me? I mean, it was incredible. I just could not believe it. Oh my goodness. Man, I just did not know what to do. But let me tell you, upon doing a further investigation on all of this, I couldn't help but to come to the conclusion that none of it happened by accident. Nothing that we've ever gone through in our lives was by accident. There was a purpose for us to go through what we went through. We may not have understood it at that time, when we went through it, but when we got further down the road and we looked back, just like that song of Mahalia Jackson put out a long time ago, my soul looks back and wonder how I got over. Well, guess what? That's what my soul has done many times. Look back and wonder, how in the world did I make it over? But I know that there had to be somebody that helped me to get there. And I'm grateful for that. So, again, 2023, the year of 7. And, of course, those of us who have been students of, scriptures and things like that over the years, and not even just the Bible, but anything else that we have been able to utilize, because there are many resources out here. People think that the truth can only be found in one resource, but I've learned better. That's not the case, because there are many truths that can be found in many resources. I mean, because if all you do is just study one source or one resource, you're not getting all of it. You are limiting yourself by just tapping into one resource. You got to look into all different things, because there's information that can be found, here and there and basically everywhere. And you put it all together, and then you analyze it, and that's how you're able to draw your own conclusion on various matters. And that's what I've done, And believe me, I was criticized for it. A lot of people, especially old folk, these old Bible thumpers, or they tried to tell me, well, Taryn, you ought not be running over here and listening to these folk. You ought not be going over here. You need to stay right here. But you know what? They've lived their life, and I got to live mine. I can't worry about what these folk doing or what they saying, because if you listen to other folk, if you allow people to dictate how you live your life, that's going to hinder your growth. That's going to hold up your progress. And who has time for that? Certainly not me. Especially in 2023, the year of 7. And 7 being the number of completion and divine perfection. Now, before we come back to 2023, let's go through. I have a list of all the years in the 21st century that will add up to 7. Starting with the year 2005. And incidentally, in the year 2005, which is or was a year 7, 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 equals 7. During that year, I was 25 years old. 2 plus 5 equals 7. Completion. And I had significant events to take place in my life when I was 25, some of which brought about a conclusion to certain things, and others began certain things. But I saw a lot of things come to an end in my life in 2005. And then, of course, there was Hurricane Katrina in 2005. And that's something that we'll never forget. And that was horrible. It really was. And then in the year 2014, that too was a year 7. 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4 equals 7. Completion. And during that year, I was 34 years old. 3 plus 4 equals 7. And I had some things to happen in my life that year as well. And oh my goodness, traumatizing to say the least. But I survived it. That's the thing. It's not how you go into a situation that defines you, but how you make it through and come out. And when you come out on the other side, man, you talking about incredible. It is amazing. Now, we're going to skip 2023 because we're discussing that right now. And we're going to go to the next year 7 in this century, which will be 2032. Now, of course, in 2023, right now, at this very moment, this being a year 7, I am 43 years old. 4 plus 3 is 7. But now, skipping that, going to 2032. 2 plus 0 plus 3 plus 2 equals 7. Completion. And during that year, I will be 52 years old. How about that? 52. 5 plus 2 equals 7. Completion. Followed by the year 2041. 2 plus 0 plus 4 plus 1 equals 7. Completion. Divine perfection. And during that year, I will be 61 years old. 61, nearing retirement. 6 plus 1 equals 7. So you see how all this goes? And finally, in the year 2050, which from what I understand is supposed to be an epic year in humanity. A big year in world history. Now, what's going to happen in 2050, I don't know. I have no way of seeing into the future. We'll just have to live and get there and pray that we all get there to see it. But in the year 2050, I will be 70 years old. The big 70, or as the scripture says, 70. Now, you tell me, isn't there something to all of this? Because if we look at the time in which we were born, and we all had an appointed time to come into this world, and of course, we have an appointed time to go out of this world. And neither of the dates are by accident. The day we come in or the day we go out. We have no control over any of those two dates. However, we can navigate our way through the time that we have in between. That portion is something that we can somewhat control. We can, in other words, we can make right choices. We can make wise decisions about certain things in our lives. And of course, that doesn't exclude the mistakes that we'll make along the way. Because believe me, we will make some terrible mistakes. And I know I've made mistakes along the way as well. 43 years worth, as a matter of fact. But again, we learn from our mistakes. And when we learn better, we do better. Or at least we should. And I tell you, I can't think of any reason why any of us wouldn't want to do better in the year 2023, in this year right now. And we have time to, plant our feet on the ground, take one step forward, then take another step and another and another, and keep on keeping on, realizing that no matter what happens, everything is going to be all right. We are going to make it. We made it through 2022. Look, first of all, let's go back a couple of years. We made it through 2020. And we know how that year was. It started out bad. And it ended bad. 2020. But we survived it. And we know that there are those who didn't make it. And our hearts go out to them. 2021. It started to turn around a little bit. But there were things that still happened. But we made it through that. Then 2022. Now, 2022 was the year of 6. And 6 is the number of man. And it's the number of imperfection. But when you get to the number 7, remember there are 7 days in a week. There are 7 continents on this planet. Oh my goodness, I could just go on and on and on. Matter of fact, back in 1999, when I was 19 years old, I was trying to get my permit, leading up to my driver's license. Now, by most people's standards, that would be considered pretty late, because I had a lot of classmates who got their driver's license while we were still in school. But at the time, I really couldn't drive. I didn't learn how to drive real good until right when I was graduating from high school and going to college. So I was a late bloomer. Nevertheless, I went and took that written test 6 times and failed miserably. I always came up short of what I needed to make on the test in order to get my permit. But when I went back for the 7th time to try my hand at that test, I made exactly the score I needed in order to get my permit. On the 7th time, I passed it. Completion. And oh my goodness, I can just sit here, and I would be sitting here until midnight, going over all of the things that have happened in my life where the number 7 was involved, where things came to a conclusion, and then when things began in my life. But that's a powerful number. It really is. I mean, all the numbers have some significance to them, but there is something about that number 7. I mean, in my opinion, it's a number that nobody ought to want to play with. That number is real. I mean, it's divine. It's straightforward. Oh my goodness, it's mind-boggling. I can't even look. I don't even have enough words to explain how awesome the number 7 is. Now, check this out. We're in the 21st century. And, of course, 21 is a multiple of 7. 3 times 7. That's 21. The 21st century. My goodness. This may not mean anything to some of y'all, but it has major meaning to me, because I've experienced all of this. And like I said, I've been studying numerology ever since back when we was going through Y2K back 1999, 2000, right in there. That's how long I've been studying numerology. So it's been almost 25 years, and I've been out of high school for 25 years this year. So it's a long time. And I tell you, I have experienced some things. I've seen a lot. Yes, indeed. So I tell you, tell me what you've experienced in your life where the number 7 played a significant role. Perhaps it was a year, or it may have a month, or a certain day of the week, or whatever the circumstance was. Can you think of some things that may have happened in your life where the number 7 was involved? And if you can, please let me know. I'd be glad to hear from you. You can comment on here, or you can inbox me on Messenger. And if you ever want to write me, you can at TJ Harris, Post Office Box 5162, West Memphis, Arkansas 72303. Or you can email me at tjharris1979@yahoo.com, and I will be so glad to hear from you. You can follow me on TikTok at Taryn Jerome Harris, and of course right here on YouTube you can subscribe to me, and feel free to share this video with whoever you like, and I will appreciate that as well. So once again, we are blessed and very grateful to have made it into 2023, and this is the year of 7. 7 being the number of completion. Completion and divine perfection. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank you once again for tuning in. I really enjoyed your company today, and I look forward to coming back to you again next time when we will discuss something else on TJ's Topics. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your love and your kindness, and I look forward to taking this ride with you throughout the year 2023. And we're gonna enjoy this ride together. I believe it's gonna be a good one, don't you? So once again, I am Taryn Jerome Harris, and reminding you that every round goes higher and higher. And I will see you on the next go round. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.